So today we are looking at that area up there in the high plains, but surprisingly more on the Montana side. And this is going to be our enhanced threat, and this is going to be for damaging winds and some pretty large hail. And across the rest of the country, we're going to see obviously some pop-up summer showers. But looking and focusing on what's happening up in Montana, there is actually going to be a dry line that you can visibly see on the temperature. It's going to be a line where hot air and cool air pretty much is a boundary, and that is where storms are going to fire right along that line, and then those will actually combine and become at kind of one as they're traveling to the east, and that's going to be where damaging winds and big hail is coming from. And then also there is a small tornado threat with this too, because they are supercells that are forming along this line. So as I mentioned, the temperature, you can see it up there in Montana. You can see how there's that really hot air and then some cooler air. And that's going to be that rain cool air right along there. But it acts as a dry line, and that actually is going to show us where all the storms are going to be forming through the afternoon. So at this scan, which is roughly 3 to 4 p.m. local time, we are going to see this entering that central Montana area and then traveling straight to the east. And that's going to cover from right there clear through the Dakotas our big severe threat. So anything that happens, I'd say, that forms in the middle of Montana by the mid-afternoon or later, I'd be watching, because a lot of those cells are going to become damaging wind cells, big hail cells, and then potentially tornadic cells. The afternoon scan is showing us very similar supercellular pop-ups across the region. Not seeing anything that's really taking off on the eye yet. We do see a few that have already developed, but not completely, capping out, going completely to the limit. So it's really going to be between the afternoon and dinner time that we're going to see most of the cells that are going to stick initiate. Then at the nighttime hour is where we see this entire squall line is formed, and then on the southeastern side we're going to see supercells. So that tornadic threat is going to be on the southeastern side of the line. Individual cells along that are going to have the best tornadic threat, but damaging winds and hail definitely right along the Canadian border there with that kind of straight cut line. It kind of looks like a caterpillar, which is a good way for us to tell that it's going to be full of damaging winds and other hazards, as in flooding, hail, and lots of other things that could be damaging. So just be ready today, and we hope to see you in tomorrow's forecast.